Be the change you want to see. At least that's what they say. But what does that really mean? I guess it means something different to everybody. To me, it means if you're not happy with something in your personal life or your business, get about changing it, or at least try. We all sometimes like to sit around and complain or assign blame or have a pity party. It doesn't really do any good. Action is kind of the key. Now it's hard, and it takes, you got to be brave and be bold to do some of these things sometimes, but it's worth it, because if you're going to go down, you don't want to go down without a fight. 2019 has been a terrible year in the trucking industry. Low freight rates, low volume, multiple new regulations, just been crushing the industry. Depending on whose numbers you believe, we'd had between 650 and 800 trucking companies go out of business, some with thousands of trucks, shutting off fuel cards and leaving drivers stranded on the road. That's an absolute scumbag thing to do, and I don't want drivers to subject themselves to that nonsense anymore. It's part of the reason I'm doing this. A dear friend of mine, one of my best friends in the world, through a series of unfortunate events, was forced out of the industry, had to close his business because of, well, we won't go into it, but somebody did him real wrong. So I want to cover a lot of things in this series of Business of Trucking to help. Try to make everybody too smart to fail. If we're going to be in this industry, we have to change. The old way of doing business is over with. The run the wheels off and hope everything will be okay, take care of itself. You can't do that anymore. With the new regulations and laws, it's not even possible. So we have to be smarter. We have to really get control of our businesses and squeeze every penny till it screams, okay? We have to understand on a deep, deep level every aspect of this business to survive, because it's going to be cutthroat. The rates have come up, over the holiday season. They may stay good into next year. Anybody telling you, forecasting what freight is going to be in 2020, further out than a couple months, they don't know. They've called every trend wrong for the last how many years, okay? So we plan for the worst. We always plan for the worst, all right? We need to have, we need to have a business plan. We need to do accounting. We need to have a profit and loss. We need to, raise capital, have a solid maintenance plan. But even if you have all these things, you may not survive. We need a little bit of luck, okay? We all need a little bit of luck. So I'm gonna write something on the board here behind me, and it's gonna be kind of the starting point for all this, okay? So see what that is? That's a big fat zero, okay? And pardon my language, but kind of the key to all this is this number right here is exactly how many shits you should give about what other people think, okay? If you're in this business just to drive a pretty truck and go fast, okay, and chrome it out and spend all your money on chrome and this and that, hey, more power to you. But going forward, in this new industry, you're not going to survive. So if you're in this industry and you drive an ugly truck, or it's a little dirty or whatever, and it's not real impressive, exactly how much you should care what other people think right there. That's how you survive in this industry, okay? We're going to go deep into a lot of things in this video series, okay? They might not all be entertaining, hey, but I tell you what, you're going to learn some new things. And if you don't think that you're open to learning new things, or you're not willing to take your business to the next level and just get a death grip on your business, then maybe this isn't for you. But if you want to really make it and see how far you can really go, then stick around. So all that being said, knowing that we no longer care what anybody thinks, some of these old mantras in the trucking industry really drive me crazy. Oh, how do you make $1 million in trucking? Start with 2 million. Oh, you just can't make it, and this and that. And if you're a truck driver and you have people that you can tell they've always kind of wanted to do it but never really had the guts to go try it, and You get this passive aggressive statement from them all the time. Oh, are you making any money? That's just one thing that drives me nuts. That's why you need to not care, okay, what other people think. You're gonna have months where you don't make money. You're gonna have months where you lose money. You're gonna have months where you make a fortune, okay? And we're gonna cover all that and show you exactly, you know, the opportunity level in this business to have a really good life and have a really great future, you know, if you can get control of your emotions and your money, okay? So, all that being said, are you with me? Just want to do a cover briefly here, just a few of the things that we're going to cover, you know, in this video series here, and then at the end, I'm going to make a couple statements here that are worth watching this whole video. Some good advice for any business, okay, not just trucking, but you know, any business. So let's start here. Something we're going to cover is you know, equipment, okay? How to buy a truck right, what truck to buy. Surprisingly, you're going to be shocked by some of these numbers when you get to this. Buying the right truck can literally be $1 million decision, you know. If you're going to do this over the course of 20 years, 25 years, the right truck, okay, can make you or break you financially. The numbers are astonishing when you break it down. If you're a die-hard long-nosed Peterbilt fan and you got to have that long-nosed Pete, more power to you. I'm not going to try and stop you. I just want you to know the financials of it, okay? You might change your mind. You might not. Some people, all they care about is looking good. That's, hey, we're cool with that. It ain't for me, okay? So we'll talk about equipment and capital. Yeah, whatever, trails off, whatever. Capital expenditures, any kind of large purchases, trailers, trucks, you know, anything high ticket items you need for your business, okay? Lowering expenses, okay? We can all only make so much money anymore with the ELDs, okay? Sure, you can get better freight rates, you can negotiate, you can do all this and stuff, but you can always lower expenses, okay? We're always looking for new ways to control costs and lower expenses. This one right here has been a huge key in my business, okay? It's kind of really helped you take things to the next level. Everybody's favorite topic, taxes. In this business, there is no shortage of taxes, okay? You got fuel tax, weight distance tax, highway use tax, income tax, self-employment tax. Boy, you can go on and on. I don't know if I said fuel tax. We're going to talk about all of them, okay? This is not a glamorous and exciting topic, but this is one of the largest areas where you can really take control of your business model and not cheat. We don't ever cheat. There's too many good ways and legal ways to manage your money legally. IRS does not play, okay? So we never cheat, but kind of arranging things, weighing things out to really put yourself in a favorable tax situation, okay? We'll talk about insurance. A lot of different kinds of insurance you need, depending on your business model too. If you're an owner-operator leased to a carrier, if you're an independent, okay, if you have employees, tons of different kinds of insurance you need to know about here and talk about. Okay, something we've already touched on through a bunch of my other videos. Maintenance, okay? This is a big one, especially on the newer trucks. You got all this emission stuff. You know, this also factors into when you're ready to buy equipment, what kind of equipment you're going to buy. What's your comfort level with doing some of your maintenance yourself? Big factor here. We can also talk about, you know, ways to, you know, bring down your maintenance costs, okay? Regulations, huge one. It's a sensitive topic with me. It makes me really angry, some of the regulations. We recently covered a little bit about the new drug and alcohol clearinghouse that we need to sign up for. If you're not familiar with that, check out the video I did a few days ago about that, and I'll tell you how to sign up. So many regulations in this business. We could do 100 videos just on that. Really don't want to, though. I'm more into business here. Your business structure. You know, even if you're, especially if you're just getting started, do you want an LLC? Do you want an S Corp, a C Corp, a sole proprietorship, a DBA? Okay. These things are important too. So we'll talk a lot about that. And my passion since I was 16 years old investing, saving for retirement. Okay? I got a lot to say about this. You know, I've been in this world a long time in this sector here, and it's really a passion of mine. So we go through all these other things we talked about, and we're saving money, we're making more money. Now what do you do with it? Okay? This is where a whole world of opportunity is going to open up for you and really give you a chance to change your life. So it's going to kind of be towards the end, but I'm really excited to get at it. But these are just a few of the things here we're going to cover. There's going to be way more. But so now that we've kind of laid out what we're going to do, I guess where do we all start? Well, we're already several minutes into this video, so I think it's probably fair to start at the beginning and talk a little bit about if you're thinking about buying a truck, getting into this business, where do we want to start? What do we need to think about first? Somebody comes to me and says, Adam, I'm thinking about buying a truck. What do I need to know, or what do I need to do? I say, well, first you need to sit down and kind of have a conversation with yourself about doing this in the first place. And sadly, this is terrible that this is the first thing I have to say to everybody. Now, you know, this wasn't the case 5 years ago, and I'm not talking politics. We're not going to do that here. Of course, though, I have my own opinions. The first thing every person needs to consider before getting into this industry health insurance. That's a big one because now it's mandatory, whatever. So you need to consider, do you have a family, do you have kids, are you on your own? You need to do some research and nail down health insurance before you consider doing anything else. Okay? That didn't used to be the case. And this is a large expense. It can be thousands of dollars a month if you have a family. It doesn't pay to go real deep into this because this is very different for every single person. Okay? So what you need to do, get online, start looking up some ads in magazines, whatever, for health insurance companies, and start getting some quotes and figuring out what your cost is going to be for health insurance. It can make the barrier of entry too high for some people to bear. That's why you need to know ahead of time. You can't get into this industry and find out later that your health insurance premium is going to be $2,000 a month and you can't afford it. How do you continue in this business paying $2,000 a month only for health insurance? Okay? So in one way, the barrier to entry is high with health insurance, but the barrier to entry in every other aspect of this business is so low. It's actually so low that it's not good for people. It allows people with no experience and no capital to walk into a brand new truck and pay, I don't know, some people are paying almost $1,000 a week, okay, for a truck payment and all their holdbacks and everything. And especially at a certain company I'm not fond of, I won't mention by name, but I believe they're somewhere in Missouri. You can figure it out. So once you've got something figured out for health insurance here, or at least a general idea, where do we go next? Well, you need to think about your lifestyle. Okay? Being a company driver and being an owner-operator are different in a lot of ways. You have a lot more responsibility. So If you have a family, if you're married, if you have a lot of kids at home, this business is going to take a lot of your time. You can no longer just go home and walk away from the truck. There's maintenance to be done. There's never-ending paperwork, especially if you go into it, as getting your own authority and things like that, which for a new driver, I do not recommend that. So what's your lifestyle like? Do you have a lot of free time? Can you be gone away from home? What is your background like? Okay. What I mean by that is, what did you do before this? Were you a mechanic? Do you have good mechanical ability where you can fix things, think things through, diagnose it? I have, a little bit of mechanical ability. It's not top level. You'll never see me tear my engine apart, but a lot of other things we can do. Do you have a business acumen? Have you been in business before? Are you business minded? Okay. If you're wanting to do this so that you can look pretty and drive fast, oh, company trucks are too slow, I go 75. Don't do this. Please save yourself the hassle. If you're wanting to do this to look good and go fast, if I asked you, John, why do you want to do this? I'm tired of these slow company trucks. And look at this. Don't have a chrome on it or anything. Please don't do this. You're setting yourself up for failure. Do not do that. Talk about your background. Are you willing to learn? Truck drivers are certain kind of people. We all know this. A lot of people, we know everything. We're all smarter than each other. Are you willing to learn? This is key. You need to learn about business, finance, equipment, maintenance, taxes. This is a whole world you're getting into here. Even if you're an owner-operator going to lease onto a carrier, for you to put it all in your carrier's hands and trust them to do the right thing and do all this for you is a mistake. They have no interest in acting on your best behalf, okay? Their interest is taking care of themselves, making money off of you. And that's their interest and responsibility, is to watch out for themselves. Nobody's going to watch out for you except for you. So what's your willingness and capacity to learn? If you say, well, I've been driving a truck for 10 years and I've always thought about this and wondered if I could do it, wondered if I could make it, and I guess, I'm never going to really know unless I try. That's an acceptable reason. I like that reason. As long as it shows that you've thought things through and you put some time in to get some experience to learn this industry. You're coming right out of truck driving school, going to a mega carrier. Don't do this. Don't lease a truck. Get some experience. Make your mistakes. It's sad to say, and I'm not laughing, but I kind of am. Make your mistakes on somebody else's dime, okay? You're going to have minor incidents. You're going to get lost. You're going to make screw-ups. Do it in somebody else's truck. Why pay the price yourself? And you need to learn the industry a little bit. How long do you plan on doing this? If you're planning on only driving a truck for 3 to 5 years, this probably isn't the right thing to do. You need to be in it long enough to go through, you need to go through a whole business cycle, pay off a truck, get a lot of experience. The money starts to look really good when your truck is paid for, okay? 3 to 5 years is not quite enough time to really make it worthwhile. You could make more as a company driver. So think about that when you're deciding whether or not to do this, kind of your time frame. One of the number one things here, and I've saved it for last, capital. Boy, this is a big one. This is a big one in any business. And we talked about the barrier of entry for trucking, getting right out of driving school and somebody wanting to throw you in a brand new truck with $1,000 a week payment. Bad, bad, bad. Now, if you're doing that and you have like $10,000 in the bank, that's a different story, okay? This industry has made it way too easy for people with no money to get set up in a business. And I'm not judging you, saying, oh, if you don't have any money, you're no good. That's not the case at all. Don't ever think that. I don't judge people like that. The purpose behind me saying this is if you don't have any capital and you go into this, you're setting yourself up to fail. Okay? You're gonna get into this and you're gonna blow a tire. You're gonna drop a rear end. You're gonna have a transmission go out. You're gonna have an injector go out. And you need to be able to survive. Okay? You can get into this with no money and no capital, and you can make it. You're not going to have a very good existence. You're going to live week to week. You're not going to be able to take any time off, because if you take some time off from that mega carrier that you're leased to, they still want that payment. Okay? They might put it off till you come back to work, but then they're going to take it out of your check, till you're caught up. You're not going to make any money till you're caught up, and it may take months, and then you want to take another week off or something. Don't live like that. You make more as a company driver, okay? So don't go into this broke. That's the main thing. And you say, well, how much money do I need? Depends on what you're doing, okay? We'll get into that, a lot more later. But I'm just trying to put some thoughts in your head now. It's getting towards the end of the year, and people are trying to decide, man, for 2020, I'm going to buy a truck. I'm going to do this. They're setting all these New Year's goals. Well, these are all things to consider. Before you do that, I really want you to think deeply about it. But don't go into it broke. Man, have a few $1,000s at least, $3,000 goes a long way, In addition to capital, not that I'm in favor of going deeply in debt, but have access to a line of credit or a low interest credit card, something, you don't want to be that guy that has one emergency bury you, okay? And that can happen to people that have been in this industry for a long time, especially with the newer trucks. I'll only buy a brand new truck because I want the warranty. If you take your truck and tow it into say a Kenworth dealer or whatever, and it's brand new, you're going to have a warranty, but sometimes your truck is going to sit there, one, till they get to it, and they still may not be able to fix it, and two, they might fight back and forth between Kenworth and Cummins to try to figure out whose problem it is, and they might spend 2 weeks doing that before they even touch your truck. So just because it has warranty doesn't mean you don't have some exposure to some bad things happening here. So have some money to fall back on so that you can at least eat, pay your bills, and survive, a minor setback or emergency. Have in addition to having some capital, have access to some emergency money would be some good advice. So I told you at the beginning of the video that I was going to give you a couple tips here at the end that would really help you in any business, not just trucking. But the first one's pretty simple. Well, it's easy to say, it's not easy to do. It takes many years, and for me it kind of took growing up and a certain level of maturity. The first one, get control of your emotions. What I mean is making decisions about money. We'd like to do that less on an emotional level, more on a rational, common sense level. And I guess an example of that would be we don't need to go out and buy that fancy new pickup truck anymore. We don't need a new Corvette, okay? We don't need things for show. Having things for show is one of the biggest reasons why people don't have a lot of assets or a great retirement. You know what I'm saying? Okay? You would rather be that guy with millions of dollars in his retirement account than the guy with the new Corvette as his 50th birthday present. Now don't get me wrong. If you can afford it, get yourself that Corvette, okay? But maybe my level of being able to afford it and your level may be different. If you can go pay cash for that new Corvette without affecting anything else in your life, go do it. If you got to take out a loan or really say, oh, we can hit it if we cut back somewhere else, cut back something else in our budget, I can go afford that Corvette. Then we're not ready for it, okay? And this is something That's something that takes years, okay? I don't expect somebody in their 20s to have full control over their emotions about money. It takes a long time to develop, and I still struggle with it, make foolish purchases from time to time. But we're kind of getting to that point now where it doesn't hurt as bad. So, even I still really work on that. But I've really come a long way in the last few years, you know, with myself, as far as my emotions about money. Way more level-headed, okay? And then, you know, getting back to that, change your relationship with money. We've all, when we're young, been free spending and careless. You know, money is just something that comes and goes. There'll be another paycheck next Friday. So, you know, thank God it's Friday, oh God it's Monday, you know, to steal something from Dave Ramsey. But we need to change that relationship. A lot of people aren't comfortable with the money thing. And this too comes with age and maturity. Money is just something to be spent, okay? We got to get past that. I've met people in my life that money is like poison to them. As soon as it comes in, man, we got to get rid of this. Look at this money, we got to go spend it, okay? There's really no place for that anymore in any aspect of this world. Okay, we got to save. If you're the type of person that's never been great with money or struggled with spending money, something that I did was kind of, and I didn't tell anybody about as an interesting exercise. Get yourself a $100 bill. Start small, okay? Put that $100 in your wallet or in your purse, and just get comfortable with having it. You can never touch it. It's just got to sit there, okay? A lot of people aren't comfortable with having money. They get money and they get stressed. They get nervous. They're like, oh God, I got money. What? You know, oh geez, what do I do? You know, we'll spend it. We'll do something. Just get comfortable with having money. Okay? You'll know you're comfortable with having this money when you get to the point where it doesn't even enter your mind anymore. Oh God, what do I do with it? Oh, I have this money sitting here. Pretty eventually you'll forget. Okay? When you get to that point, step it up to $200. Or start with 50. Start with whatever is the amount of money that triggers you emotionally. Okay? And just say, I can't touch this money no matter what. Okay? You can be nervous about it, but you cannot touch it. Okay? You'll start to get comfortable with having this money. Okay? Being comfortable having money sounds ridiculous, but you'd be surprised with the amount of emotion and nervousness and stress that money triggers in people. And you'll find it in yourself. You need to find that point in yourself where you're at this level of being comfortable. Okay? Pretty soon work up to $1,000. You know, you may not want to do this. I'm whatever. Put $1,000 in your pocket once and just walk around with it and just be comfortable. Okay? You don't have to spend it. You don't have to do anything other than have it. Put it in your bank account. Put it where you can't spend it there. Just get your comfort level to where you're okay and work that level up. If you can, work your way up to $10,000 in your bank account, and just say, man, it's just there. You know, no stress about it, no emotion. It's just there. Okay. Work on that. Okay. It's these two things. One other thing I got to share with you. You may hear me refer to this in the future. This isn't mine. This comes from somebody who doesn't know it, but they've been an influence in my life and kind of a mentor. His name is Jack Spirko. Okay? If you don't know who that is, you can look him up, but I just want to make sure I give credit. This is more in business and life in general, but really in business you can apply it. Be an ant. It sounds really ridiculous, doesn't it? But here are all these New Age people talking about their spirit animal and this and that, and try to tell you, oh, what animal do you want to be like? Be an ant. Why the hell would you want to be an ant? Think back to when you were a kid, okay? And if you were a bad kid, you would sit on the sidewalk and burn ants with a magnifying glass, okay? But I'm sure at some time when you were a kid, you observed ants doing their thing, and maybe you interfered with them or left them alone, whatever. If you took an ant scurrying around and he was by his anthill and you messed with that anthill, what would happen? You'd immediately see hundreds of ants gang up and immediately get about the business of putting that anthill back together, right? Ants never stop. Ants are industrious, okay? You'll see ants, they work their whole day through. They never give up, you know? They prepare for winter, you know? You see them out gathering, you know, food and supplies for their you know, ant colonies, carrying it down into the hole, coming back out, going for more, back and forth. They're industrious, they don't give up. When somebody kicks their anthill, they get right about fixing it. They don't sit there, oh, gosh dang, look what this dillweed did to my ant hole. What a son of a gun. No, you can knock an ant over, right back up, and right back to work. So, try to be like that. Run your business like that. Think about all the different ways an ant is industrious and resilient. Just something to think about. Use it for a little bit of motivation. So, anyway, just a peek into some of the things we're going to get into here. And I hope you decide to subscribe and stick around and really get something out of this series. So, we'll see you next time.